What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5, completely forgotten what it's called, Superpowers AI only battle. Hope you're enjoying it. It looks like everyone is. It's doing really well, so I hope you're enjoying it. What are we going to do today? We are going to get to turn 250, I imagine, unless it really slows down. And we will have sort of our final look at the info addicts before we do the results at turn 300. So there's probably, what, 3-4 episodes before till the results? I'm not sure exactly how quick it's going. I think this is episode 7. So, yeah, there'll probably be an 8, which goes beyond turn 250. And then a 9 that maybe wraps it up. And then a 10 will be the actual results or something like that. So lots to look forward to. Plenty still to happen. And obviously we'll try and run the game a bit beyond that as well. Don't worry. It won't just stop at 300. Unless it's domination only this time. So stuff should keep happening. We fixed that. Sadly, it was just some of the maps in that map pack, I think, weren't necessarily working. Some of them did, so we can go back to using it. It's just certain ones worked, certain ones didn't, so we just have to find the right ones. But the Aztecs pretty close to death here, although there's no melee units nearby, so they may get a little chance at survival, which is nice to see. Nice for them. What else we got going on? Let's have a bit of a recap. I haven't actually recorded in nearly a week. Is that right? Yeah, I've been trying to fix something that was broken, that's why, mainly. And we were ahead on these episodes anyway. Oh yeah, Russia v Germany. If Russia actually ends up winning this, that would be quite impressive. Rome has given them open borders, so it wouldn't be the biggest surprise in the world. Also, some people made some very good spots over the last few episodes that I completely missed in the comment section. So yes, China does have planes. Missed that one altogether. I think Russia having submarines means they do have oil, and as people have pointed out, they've just obviously done a weird path down the tech tree where they obviously used all their oil on submarines and stuff before they got any planes. So, to be honest, I didn't even realize submarines needed oil, but there you go. Haven't played Civ 5 for a while now, since we've played as a Civ. Thinking about it, we'll have to do a Let's Play soon. I'm sure we will. We're actually going to be doing a Civ 5 multiplayer at some point as well, so if you're interested in that, be sure to check it out in the Discord. It will be similar to the EU4 stuff we're doing. So yeah, keep an eye out for that over the summer. That'll be quite fun. I think that will have a lot of interest. Rome with another new city right in the desert. Doesn't change too much, but again, just more land. They get some incense as well. Pretty good resource to have. No complaints. Did we get the Caribbean? Hawaiian Islands, sorry, being settled? We did. And the US has another settler coming. China grabbing most of, in fact, all of New Guinea. They still have settlers coming over. Australia, there's still space for some more. Someone did know, I can't even remember who it was. I think it might have been Brazil settling here, but when one of these civs settled, the Zulu denounced them within like less than a turn, or in the same turn, so that was quite impressive. Looks like the Shoshone, who they're not rubbish, it's just, they're not weak, it's just I don't think they could beat America, so they're sort of stuck, right? They're not actually that bad a civ, they're probably 7th in the world, if you put maybe Siam in 6th, and then obviously we got the big 5. I don't know, just throwing it out there. Maybe behind Brazil or someone. I don't know. Saying that, Brazil is getting beaten up inland now, which is not what you want to see. Someone did point out Brazil had completed the Manhattan Project. However, with that said, they don't have anything. They don't have any planes or nukes. Here, they may have a plane somewhere. Don't hate me for getting it wrong, but it doesn't look like they have any planes here. And none in Australia either, so, and yeah, no nukes, no uranium by the look of it. This wonder, just out of interest, if anyone was interested, did eventually go to the Inca. Obviously Brazil got El Dorado, but Chiro de Potosi went towards the Incans. We'll see if the US can get this city. It's going to be still difficult. There's a lot of Brazilian melee units here. Obviously this depends if they're in a golden age. If they are, these units are going to be really good. If not, they'll still be okay. But yeah, I mean, America's not really got any land units over here, so I think it may take a while. I don't know where this Rome settler's going. If they settled on this island, that would be quite funny. Not sure it will happen. And Germany did actually kick Russia out of the British Isles, which is cool, although maybe we'll see Leipzig here in Scotland fall to Russia in a bit of a swap. And Rome completes the Kremlin. So there we go, our little streak of wonders that may have been correctly placed. That wasn't really a streak, but you know, we had a few in the right civ. Very much wrong. I mean, Russia would have loved, I'm sure, to have got the Kremlin, and have not. And they did get Scotland, so there we go, that's happened. Shoshone denouncing Brazil. Shoshone and Siam. There you go. See, 6th and 7th best. Imagine they just merged. That would be a cool feature, wouldn't it? Like if you could vassalize somebody or something like that. Personal unions that we get in EU4. That sort of stuff happening in Civ. That would be quite funny. They just merge into one super country. I would like there to be a feature. I don't know, it's probably, the ship's probably sailed for Civ 6 now, but a feature that like lets you form like blocks and stuff, that would be pretty cool, like big alliances and teams. Similar to the factions in Hearts of Iron, that would be pretty cool. But, you know, we can't have everything, okay? And they probably would be kind of overpowered. Because, yeah, probably one big one would form, and then it would sort of be like ideologies where they all go for the same one, sort of thing. It would be a mess. So maybe it wouldn't be the best of ideas, but it'd be pretty cool, and then those nations could have different trade rules with each other and stuff like that. They go to war with each other. They could have open borders with each other, like different levels to it. That would be a pretty cool feature. Even as a mod, I don't know if it's out there, but that'd be pretty crazy. If I had any technical knowledge, that's what we'd do. But obviously I don't. We just spent the whole of last week with no Let's Plays because I have no technical knowledge and couldn't fix something. But thankfully, you guys helped me out, and we did get it fixed. So EU4 is saved. That's good. Right, is there really just... Everyone's just pretty chilled at the moment, which, I mean, it's good, because it means next time wars break out, there'll be plenty of units for them all to throw at each other. And also, no one's getting to that stage where they just have so many units the game breaks. Like, even China here, lots of open space, not too many units. Russia, again, plenty of open space. Rome... Yeah, again, not loads. Normally, the game breaks is when every tile is like full of a unit. That's where we have problems. The US, again, there's actually not that much here. I mean, there's a lot of archaeologists, but not so many units. Shoshone with some planes. A lot of great war bombers, actually, which I guess would keep them safe, but at the moment they don't need to use them. And they are just continually fighting China here. It must have been, what, like 1,000 years now since this begun. That's in like the game time. That's crazy. It's just still going on. Oh, the US did finally grab this island, so there we go. That sets us up for a US v China at some point potentially. And oh no, I thought that was... Wait, how did that happen? Okay, wow, that was not the city I was expecting to fall. There we go. It was the coastal one though, so it was kind of expected. Rio has fallen to the US. And that's a big take actually. That's impressive, because if they can keep going from this, use this as a platform, land some more land units. I mean, if the US conquers all of Brazil, that is quite impressive, like traveling around and getting that done. We do have some more Manhattan projects. China has done it, as you can see on the right here, and from the writing at the top here, I see Rome also just completed it. So how did Brazil get it so early? You sure you saw this? We sure Brazil did it? I'm guessing they did. I believe you guys, don't worry. The Aztecs didn't die. I thought they did for some reason. Rome, though, also got the Manhattan project, as well as China. And then Rome completes the Cristo Redentor wonder in the same turn that Rio falls, although it wasn't anything to do with them. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But there we go. I don't think, yes, sometimes we can't really see it. I think also the low graphics probably doesn't help. I think it's on low or medium. It doesn't look... I think it can look a lot better. I don't know if maybe the map makes it look... Okay, never mind. The US pieced out with Brazil. They did get Belo Horizonte. They now have a massive amount of northern territory in South America, with this citadel as well. A lot of truffles, a lot of Brazil wood camps. Look at these tiles. 2 food, 1 production, 3 gold, 2 science, 2 culture. Similar around here with less gold and less production in this one. That is crazy. Crazy stuff. But yeah, for the US, oh, they have their B-17s. And that doesn't sound like, you know, everyone gets their unique unit at some point. But the US normally dies well before getting their B-17s. So maybe they could be the game-changing unit this time around. And getting Rio as well. That leaves Brazil in a complete mess, although very satisfyingly, all 3 of their cities have 20 population. Very satisfying. There we go. But what a turn. And yeah, the US... I mean, I wonder where they'll be in the next Info Addicts. They've expanded a lot. Since the last time, they've conquered the Caribbean. They, I think, made some more progress over here as well. And obviously, they've gone into the Pacific. So we will see. And they took Manaus in Australia as well. Interesting, as the Shoshone grabbed the northern island of New Zealand. I don't know where their other settler went. China's got a settler in Australia. Rome have 2 in Micronesia as well. So there is going to be some more settling, some more competition. But yeah, China's definitely going to win the race. I'm guessing that other Shoshone settler, it was low, right? It was low already fighting China up here, so maybe it just died to someone else around this area. Maybe it was China again. But yeah, I guess the other one just died, or I just am missing it and it's really obvious. There we go. Rome has got their settler into Australia. We'll see where this one ends up. Is that the same one from the Caribbean? No, that's okay, that's this one. Fair enough. Obviously, the Inca are facilitating faster travel because they've at least given the US open borders to move freely through the Panama Canal. What have we got here? The Aztecs still not dead. Germany did retake Leipzig, so for now they have most of the UK, just not Cornwall and southern Wales. Ooh, 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 what's going on? What is going on everywhere? Siam quiet at the moment. Fair enough. Oh, delegate. What are we voting on? Embargo of Brazil. Wow, way to kick them when they're down. Just that's rough. Poor Brazil. They're not sure they deserve that, but okay. Fair enough. That's how the AI are going to play today, I guess. Just be very mean. Fair enough. I really want to know. I want to get to turn 250. I just want to speed run that. I want to know who is doing well, because these civs are all the big five. They could be in any order now. I don't know. The Zulu haven't really done anything for a while, which is quite interesting. Obviously, they killed Egypt, or not completely killed, but they had some success against Egypt and the Songhai, but that feels like that was a while ago. Rome and Russia. I'm probably getting my timelines mixed up. Was Rome v Russia after that? Was that early 200s? Maybe it was going on midway through. But yeah, I mean, even that, if it's going on midway through, will heavily affect the statistics. So it's going to be pretty big. China, where are they? They seem to be doing quite well tech-wise. And obviously, they've expanded into the Pacific Ocean quite a bit. And then obviously the US has done a lot of expanding. So I don't know who's winning anymore. I still have a feeling Rome and Russia might be... Well, Rome definitely might be number one. But I don't know. Russia is going after Germany here. I mean, let's have a look at score, just for fun. There isn't too much going on. US at 1,927. China 1,840. Rome 1,876. Russia 1,710. Siam's the only other one above. And the Shoshone just above 1,000 in sort of 6th and 7th, as we mentioned. And the Zulu 1,938. So the Zulu are just about winning on score by 9 points, just ahead of the US. And then the other three are all very... then Rome and China are pretty close, and then Russia was a little bit further behind. But it's all to play for still. That's what matters. It does look like, yeah, Brazil did just get embargoed, right? Oh, that's what that said. Yes, no trade with Brazil. Just they don't have any coastal cities, and now they have no trade. That is pretty rough in this in these games. There is no city-states, so they now just can't trade with anyone. So yeah, they are just struck off from the world. That's pretty rough. Not what you want. China did settle in Australia here on the western side. Rome's settler is still here, but hasn't settled yet. They actually have two. If they can somehow squeeze two cities in here, that would be very impressive. I'm guessing they probably could, because there is a lower tile limit to where you can settle. China has entered the information era. Very much. I think they are winning on technology at the very least. Here we can see no, never mind. Russia leading for literacy. Soldiers is led by the Zulu. Rome is winning production, economy, and land, and population and crop yield, which kind of go hand in hand at the moment with the Zulu. So there you go. Russia with the lowest approval. Indonesia must just have a unit alive somewhere, so don't worry about them. Being in last place, I'm guessing they just have like sort of a boat sailing round somewhere. I can't even see it. If you could, let's play it. Spot the Indonesian unit. If you see it, let me know. Drop a comment. There isn't a prize, but let me know if you can spot it. I can't just yet. Shoshone's turn. Zulu. Oh, no. This city changed hands again, and I thought for some reason the Aztec city fell. It is close, but it's not quite close enough. I think the US is helping. Not that these units can actually do anything, but yeah, maybe not. What is the US up to? Where did all those planes go? They had a lot of B-17s. There's a couple here in Detroit, and there's still a few around Brazil. I don't know. They seem to... Oh, they're just really spread out, I think, over the different carriers. But there we go. Rio still recovering. But yeah, this is pretty big for the US. Like I said, it's going to be exciting. We're 6 turns away from finding out, the info addicts. Hopefully we actually get there. I haven't misplanned this. We will do it today, regardless of how long it takes. Doesn't matter, we can have a bit of a bonus episode. That's fine. A bit longer than normal. It'll be okay. What else can we look at now, just while there's not too much to really focus on? I'm trying not to crash the game when I open these menus. It's been okay so far. Religions, there's actually a bit of a three-way fight for the lead here. So there's Songhai, Confucianism in 44 cities, Catholicism from the Aztecs in 39, and Islam from Egypt in 38. So that is really pretty close, all things considered. And the Songhai in Egypt, that is, Songhai in Egypt, that is impressive because, I mean, obviously Egypt's religion, I'm guessing, is mostly in the Zulu, because although the Zulu have their own religion, it's only in one city. Russia just completed the Manhattan Project in the background, for anyone wondering. There's a bit of a drop-off then to Hinduism from Indonesia, which is in 25. I think Siam is keeping that alive, although China actually now owns the Holy City. Maybe it's probably in some of their cities too. It's the only sort of Far East Asian religion. And then the other three are not doing so well. 11 for Shinto and the Inca, not doing so great in South America. I guess Catholicism's probably going to start to push in at some point. Although 11, that is how many cities are in South America, so they just have all of South America for now. The Zulu, I don't even know how they got a religion that isn't in their capital. It's quite impressive, an achievement, and it's not done very well, so I don't know if maybe that's bugged or something. That's why it just did so rubbish, because I think if the Zulu wanted it to do well, they could have got it to do well. And the Mayans, with Judaism, again, sort of present in Central America, not really doing anything, but it is maybe slowing the spread of Catholicism down here and buying Shinto some more time. That's all I can maybe hazard a guess at. The Songhai with the settler crossing the Atlantic. Not really sure where it's going. It's just headed straight for Brazil. Just going to go try and settle in Brazil's land. That would be quite funny. The US is next, so they're all getting there now. Maybe Brazil... Is there a way to check? I don't think there is. Someone said Brazil. Maybe it was for a different AI battle and I read the wrong comment. It doesn't say anywhere, so I can't really know, but... There we go. We can look at the eras. America, Atomic Era, Industrial Era for the Aztecs, that's not so good, Information Era for China, Modern Era for Egypt, Industrial for Germany, Songhai in the Modern Era, Rome in the Atomic Era, Russia's just entered the Information Era, I believe, Siam is in the Atomic Era, Indonesia must have a unit somewhere, because Siam is still at war with them, I don't know where it is, but it must be somewhere, the Inca in the Modern Era, Brazil in the Atomic Era, Renaissance Era for the Indonesians, Modern Era for the Shoshone, and the Zulu in the Atomic Era. Rome did not end up settling. This settler's sort of walking around a bit. This one's still not arrived, but... Oh, and the US are actually going to get southern New Zealand by the look of it. Unless they're trying... They're all just trying desperately to find more land that doesn't exist. They're trying. Got to give them some credit for that, I guess. What is next? I can't focus on this city falling forever. Let's try to predict the next war. Although that's very difficult right now. There's a fair few... Oh, we got a little bug. The clouds are just moving wherever I go. Yep, cool. You can't really see it. That's okay. Okay, Russia is coming at this with a bit more effort. So maybe we'll see this fall. There's no melee units here, so that's not going to happen. There is a couple of destroyers and an ironclad up this way, so there is some hope. Ooh. If the Shoshone settle here, they're going to get all the sea tiles anyway, but they obviously get some extra land too. That's going to sort of block these Russian units from coming back, unless they get open borders. So that could get very interesting. What sort of diplomacy are we going to see there? That would be very interesting. Should Russia settle there? We'll see what happens. China and Russia seem to be friendly, or at least not interested in each other. This border is pretty much very... there's not much here. A few Chinese units. China's force is mainly this navy that they can bring. That's obviously going to threaten the Shoshone probably at some point. The US in the Pacific, although they are starting to build a really strong navy and mobile military as well. It's not as many land units, which is quite interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic. We don't normally get... I mean, Rome is probably the only one that's still heavily invested in a big land military. They have plenty of boats as well, but these boats maybe not a bit older. You know, they're not tech up there. They're not got battleships. They do have destroyers, but a lack of oil, I'm guessing. Maybe they... In fact, yeah, definitely a lack of oil. I don't think they have any planes. Nope. Oh, they have one. They did have two, actually. So I don't know where... Maybe they... Oh, no, there's some here. But, you know, 5 planes for a civ this big is not really great. Russia completes the Pentagon. There we go. That is... Makes up for Rome stealing the Kremlin away from them, I guess. Just adding more completely not in the right place wonders. That's what we like to see. There is not much space on the map. Before there was loads, but now... Yeah, now there's not much left. The Shoshone did settle that city, by the way. They're just pushing their planes. They're like, yep, Europe, we threaten you. I'm imagining they're going to invade Germany or something stupid at some point. It's going to happen. There's still some territory here. I guess if the Shoshone wanted another city for some reason, they could. There's still the Himalayan region. You could maybe squeeze one more in, but look, China and Russia aren't too interested. Siam could probably put one in here. There's not really any resources to encourage it, but, you know, if you wanted a bit more territory, keep Russia at bay. Should that war ever break out. Although Siam actually beat Russia in that war to gain Persepolis, so probably not super important for them to do that. China... Oh, what's going on? China has been... Oh, dang it, another... Troll again. The US actually squeezed another city onto the Hawaiian Islands with Cincinnati here. There's actually more settlers from the Shoshone in US. The land is going quickly. The US also got Denver on the South New Zealand island. Rome has yet to put theirs down, but I'm guessing one of these islands may be going to them. Then there's this one. I mean, all 4 of these could, in theory, I think, be... No. Maybe... No, I think it has to be one more tile. So there's at least 2 more cities could go here. You could probably squeeze one more into Australia and Tasmania if you tried, and you'd probably put one in the middle of New Zealand if you're really going for it. So there is still some space. China's going to put one up here, which is fair enough. Make the most of the land. This is obviously shows up as free, but I mean, you could settle here. You could settle on this tile, but I don't know if they will. And again, you could probably squeeze one in here. It depends on their happiness whether it's worth doing or not. In fact, I think, could you? No, you can't go here. So I think with this map, you can do 3 tiles, but you can't do 2. Brasilia, oh my goodness, what the heck? Okay, the Zulu, I saw them coming over, but I wasn't sure. But okay, yep, they are. They're just going to go in. They took Brasilia, which was also coastal, so I apologise for saying Rio was the only coastal one. Brasilia was coastal, but there we go. I called it before the end of the episode, so it's joke's on you if you've already left the comment trying to meme on me. I keep saying Shoshone. Songhai have a settler coming to probably the Falkland Islands, or I mean down here if they wanted to annoy the whole world and block off this passageway, which has kindly been left open so far. So at least you know, if you can't get open borders with the Inca, you can still go around the bottom. But yeah, Brasilia falling to the Zulu. That is a mess. South America may get divided up between our great powers. Wouldn't surprise me if the US went after Brazil again. Maybe China goes after the Inca, and then all of a sudden, and I guess the US could as well on this side. Yeah, you could very easily see South America just completely ripped away from its native countries, which has not really happened to any other continent, right? The US are the power in North America, but they started here. Rome and Russia started in Europe. China started in Asia, as did Siam. And the Zulus started in Africa, so it's not really... I guess you could say the same here, but Indonesia just didn't work, so... This area was always open for colonization anyway. So I think that's a bit of a... Maybe a bit of a harsher saying that Indonesia just couldn't defend it properly. Maybe a bit harsh. Sadly, Australia just didn't work. I don't know what's happened to that mod. It just doesn't work anymore. So we'll try. I have 2 Australian mods, and none of them work on this map. But the other one does work on the other maps. So it's not a disaster. It's a bit frustrating. I think one of the things with that new map pack I was using, if it will allow me to do domination only, and I'm hoping it will, we will do some more on there, don't worry, with the more zoomed in maps and stuff. I think a lot of the mods just worked, it's just I had to move them, so they weren't necessarily TSL, but they would all spawn in, whereas on this map, certain civs that maybe aren't TSL, I think it just doesn't let them spawn in and stuff, so it can be quite messy, or some of them just don't work for whatever reason, but... Yeah, I think that new map pack, it does make them all spawn. It's just, you know, I might have to move some of them, which is not as difficult as it sounds. It's tedious, but it's not, you know, it's not difficult. It's a pretty easy process. And it doesn't affect the game too much. It does give them a large happiness boost, which is a little bit annoying, but That's it, really. It doesn't actually give them anything else, in theory. I'm not sure. Their vision might not be taken away. I'm not 100% certain. Obviously, sometimes it's, it's better not to know, right? And then we just won't ever think about it. It's sort of similar to the info addicts when people tie, and we sort of gloss over it. You can go in a lot deeper and make it perfect, but eventually you just go insane. So we'll just pretend we don't know. I assume they do not get to see the whole map. But obviously, when I tried it as the two Sicilies and I had to move a few civs, I could see the whole map for the rest of the game, even though I turned that ability off. So who knows? So maybe that is a bit unfair. Maybe we could just make them all see the whole map. I don't know. Maybe that would work. But here we go, the final turn, and then we will look at the info addicts. We only are looking at like the top 5, so it doesn't matter. It shouldn't take too long. So this should run perfectly normal, and then we will push on for another episode and see what happens. See how far we can get, and yeah, we'll do the results at 300 because no one has quite reached the end of the tech tree yet, unless we're about to find out they have. But China's still not got those late game units, and I think they're doing well. Russia as well. Rocket artillery, pretty advanced. Missile cruiser, I think that's the most advanced unit I've seen so far, so it's not a complete concern. Russia with 5 nukes, okay, that came out of nowhere. They might not have much oil, but they have plenty of uranium, and obviously they get double strategic resources. So Rome, that's a concern for you. Also, Rome's added some new cities here. I think that's new. I saw they got another new one somewhere. Am I going correct? No, maybe I'm going. Someone else got a new one somewhere, and I didn't say anything. Who was it? Was it Russia? Maybe it was the US. Someone settled a new city somewhere. Oh, it was the Zulu over here. That's who it was. Brazil actually retook Brasilia, which is great for them. But the Zulu has plenty of units here to try conquer it back. So it may not be as easy as it seems to regain that city. And yeah, there you go. It falls to the Zulu again. Not looking good. Are the Songhai about to settle? I mean, it won't mess up the Zulu, but it will just be a frustration. In fact, the Zulu will need to make sure they bring all their units back before going through. But yeah, there you go. We're 12 techs away from the end. So there's 80, so it's not a disaster. To go to 300, that's actually probably going to work out perfectly. So Russia and China neck and neck on technology. We're going to see this in a second anyway. Right, I'm just going to save. I don't know. Sometimes the info addicts breaks, and we've just sat through like half an hour. So you can see my creative names there. What is it? Large country AI only. We're working with testing names. Northwest Europe one here. The other games are all here. There you go. 60 Civ World. Did we do that? I feel like, did this turn 350? We must have done. They all just blur into one sometimes. It's hard to remember what I did on this PC and what I did on the old one. But here we go. Info addicts. Russia dropped off a bit here. Guessing that was Rome grabbing Cologne. But there you go, you can see the top 5, they're all racing each other. The Zulu currently leading on score, then the US, Rome, China, Russia sitting a bit further off. But these 5 are all neck and neck. In fact, Rome, the US, and the Zulu have all led and China have all led, not China's not led actually, sorry, but Russia led as well here. But yeah, they've all led pretty recently. The US was tied first here, and then they've just dropped behind now. Rome was again sort of just behind there, but Russia led here. The Zulu have sort of taken the lead. Then you have a big drop to Siam. Then this is the Shoshone. It's a bit easier now. Songhai. Egypt? Still, oh no, the Inca, sorry. This must be the Inca, right? Unless the Inca's the higher one. No, that's the Inca. This is Brazil. Obviously, you can see they've just dropped off a lot recently in this episode. This yellow line is Egypt. They must be doing something because they've slightly increased a little bit. Maybe they built something. This brown line that's still alive, I'm thinking is the Aztecs. I don't know how they're still ahead of Germany, but I guess it's just score they picked up ages ago that they can't lose. Germany then is this grey line. Indonesia is this blue line that is just surviving but not improving, and these civs are obviously dead. Persia, the Mayans dying off. They're the only civs that have actually fully died. Yeah, I guess so. Here we go. World Factbook. Population. The Zulu lead the way. 79 million. Then it is Russia 64. America at 63. Rome with 57. And China at 49. So a bit low for them. No one's hit 100 million yet. Crop yield again goes to the Zulu. Obviously that links to the population. Rome then second. China third. America fourth. And Russia fifth. So apart from the Zulu winning both, I think the categories, the other 4 were all in different positions. So it's going to be quite interesting. Production, Rome is leading that, then China, then America, and Rome has a big lead in that. Russia, and then the Zulu up there as well. So another complete different order GMP, Rome again leads, then China, then the Zulu, the US, and Russia. Land area, Rome is currently the biggest at 6.2 million square kilometers, just ahead of the Zulu on 6 million. Then it's 5.7 for China. It does include the sea tiles, so if you're just wondering, if you're new around here, you didn't know, it does include the sea, so it's a bit misleading. Obviously, that's why China looks pretty small compared to Rome and the Zulu on the mini-map, but obviously they have a lot of the ocean, which helps a lot. The US then at 5.4 million, and Russia a bit further behind at 4.3 million, which is actually explained because out of those 4 countries, they will have the least of the ocean. Right, next. Oh, the Shoshone is up there too. Pretty good, but not quite top 5. Military manpower, Russia currently leading with 1.1 million soldiers. Obviously, that's a bit of a weird statistic. I don't know how much an atomic bomb counts for example, but that will certainly give you a good number. Rome is then second, 1,000 ahead of the Zulu. And then there's America and only 8,000 behind. So that isn't even like a unit at that level. That is literally maybe a bit of damage to one unit that is making the difference between those 3. And then China in 5th. The Shoshone, I keep anything that begins with S, it's just Shoshone. Siam in 6th are doing quite well as well at 700k, well ahead of the other civs. Approval, literacy, we're not going to look at. Social policies, America leads the way at 25, then China at 24, the Zulu 23. Siam has broken the top 5 stranglehold with 22, and the Songhai as well, actually, tied with Brazil on 21. So Russia and Rome not doing so well on social policies. The bigger you are, it can be harder to get more social policies, and maybe they've just not been culturally focused. Happiness, just no one's negative, so it's all good, although Russia is pretty close, and America are on the edge. Technologies, here we go, we'll go bottom up. Aztecs at 49, Germany 50, Egypt 51, Inca then a bit of a jump at 56, Shoshone and Songhai 58, Siam at 60, Rome is again out of the... Okay, maybe Brazil does have the Manhattan Project, sorry, they 65, yeah, they must do. Okay, fair. I didn't realise they were that high up, although obviously they're going to sort of slow down now. Siam 60, Rome 62 with the Zulu, 63 for America, 65 Brazil, 68 for China and Russia. Net gold, Rome well out in front, and it is Siam, China, the Zulu, Russia. We don't really use this anymore in the results because by the end almost all of it will be negative, although maybe this time it won't just because there's enough big countries to trade with each other. So maybe it won't be for once, I don't know. And they also haven't just spammed out so many units, so maybe that's what it is. Cities, China now leads, which I think is a change from previously, with 38. America at 34. 32 for the Zulu and Rome. 24 for Russia. So there's still big numbers here for all of them. And it could still really swing, right? The US could definitely kill the Shoshone if they went for it, like, all in. And that could push them to, like, 50. You know, Siam could fall to China. That would put them in, like, 55 sort of territory, 54. So there's still to be added. Those are the two big ones that could fall, I guess. Shoshone and Siam. Also, the Inca cities, Songhai cities are still pretty valuable to the Zulu or America or somebody. Science output, China leading the way ahead of Russia. They are the 2 tech leaders. Rome, interestingly, in 3rd. Obviously, we saw they were a bit behind on technology, so maybe they're going to start to catch up. America and then the Zulu. Culture, China again leading. Then the Zulu, Rome, America, and Russia. Wonders, America, Rome, Russia, China, and the Zulu. Treasury, not too important, but the big 5 again leading the way. Some spend that. In this game, it seems they're not all going to spam out on units, which is quite nice. For once, we won't look at faith. We look at religion separately, and some of these civs have got faith gain because they tried to get a and failed. They just built the stuff and then failed to even get the religion going. Influence, few influentials. That's all, mostly the big ones. I'm guessing it's over the Aztecs or something, who are pretty small. Actually, maybe not. It might be over. Probably Egypt, Brazil's influential, so I don't know who that is. Culture plays a part as well, so it could be any of the small civs, really. We won't be using that either in the results. Great works, the Zulu with 20. Inca actually was 16, so maybe there's some value there if someone was looking to conquer somebody. China, Songhai, Rome. And then Great Works, trade routes, Rome and Songhai with 1 more than the rest, but most of the other great powers are on 7. And tourism, the Zulu is the most popular tourist destination. Which I guess it makes sense, right? It's Africa. There's a lot to see there. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Lots of stuff. So that does make sense. And obviously, in this world, the technology to travel there is probably a lot easier. Like a lot more infrastructure. So yeah, that kind of actually makes sense. And also, they've been pretty peaceful for a long time now. So kind of makes sense. There must be, yeah. Thinking about it, I'm bad at flying, but I would love to travel more. So especially now. I think after what we've been through last year and a half, I'm sure everyone probably feels the same. So yeah, there you go. Maybe that's a place we should go one day. I don't know. There's a lot of places. I haven't been to many places, so there's a lot of places on the list. Just anywhere really. But like I said, I'm not very good at flying. So, you know, places like traveling from the UK to Africa, I feel like a lot of places, I don't know, I've never inquired, but I feel like a lot of places you've got to fly somewhere and then you get another plane. Like, that's a bit much for me. But there we go. The Zulu, #1 in tourism. China in second. Again, I mean, the big countries make sense. China, again, pretty peaceful for a while, actually, so makes sense. Russia, yeah, fair enough. I'm sure there's some sites there. Rome again, I mean, it's got all of Europe, like a lot of tourist destinations in Europe. Siam and Brazil actually above America. Brazil's a bit weird. I guess it's a game mechanic, but yeah, Brazil obviously maybe not the best location as of recently. It's pretty war torn. The US has conquered most of that Brazilian tourism for themselves. But there we go. That will be it for today. Just based on that, when we do the results, because there's not so many civs left, we're going to do a top 5. I think it will, because you saw we'll do the score for the top 5, and the civs that broke in, I think it might be a bit unfair on like a Siam. I didn't keep track, but you know, it takes one good statistic from a small civ like a Brazil or something to get loads of points, and then they come 6th. So I think it might be a bit unfair. So we will just do the top 5, assuming all 5 of them are... I mean, we'll do a top 5. It gets a bit weird if you do like a top 4. You know, one of them may die. It could happen. Russia is obviously the most likely candidate for that, just because they're surrounded by China and Rome. They don't really have any room to grow. They actually failed to attack Siam, which is their only other avenue to expand. So yeah, I think it could happen. Russia could fall a bit, or at least get a lot weaker. But I think it might not happen. I think we'll just see consolidation. But there we go. We'll carry on. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. This series has been getting like 200 views per episode, which is amazing. So I do hope you are enjoying it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.